This is like the next tier of bodybuilding is literally going to be this neurosteroid thing, right? It's something that like bodybuilders just know what aromatase is. That's the only enzyme they understand. And opening this up to like 3-alpha HSD and like
I don't
all
think they
these
understand aromatase at
they don't
all.
understand. Aromatase, by the way, is 3 steps. Yeah, so they don't even understand that. But I think this is like the next. This is the next
I think
evolution
you're hard
of
pressed of
bodybuilding.
them putting together testosterone and estradiol and DHT come from the same root. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot they don't get. We have to really say.
Hey, good evening and welcome everyone. This is Gonzo Herrero, your host at Rise 41, who has officially abdicated introductory duties, and I have given them over to my man, Josh. So Josh, introduce our panel and take it away, brother.
Alrighty, I'm Joshua. You're up the Tren RN. Joining us back tonight is our favorite host, Chris. He's got DHT and a headlock primo.
I like it.
And then from last week's show, we've got Sean, Sir Shits a Lot, molecular.
Yes. You got to reestablish a strategy.
Well, and I've got to go with this one. I mean, this is clearly Dr. Wokenstein tonight, but when he's hungry, he's Mr. Microaggression.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, let's see. All right. Next up, we got Nick. Shit razor blades, be a man. Going by the anabolic autist tonight. And we've got Michael, who was top 9 in Masters. Remember code MHP? He's going to bring that up 3 times a show. I guarantee it.
Bring it up, Mike. You do that.
But I love him. Mike Horner.
Yes, sir.
And last but not least, if he was on Star Wars, his name would be Riñon Solo. Gonzo Herrero.
I like that. Riñon Solo. That's very good. That's impressive. It's almost as impressive as taught Spanish on our chat earlier today. That cracked me up.
Was my grammar appropriate? Did I conjugate my verbs?
It's in the ballpark. I would definitely understand it. I would also understand that this is somebody who's not a native speaker. But it was funny. And I hope you understood my retort. Like I told you, you're killing me smalls in Spanish.
I have no idea what you're talking. Now it makes sense because
you just pull Google Translate.
And pequeño is
that's
small. Got it.
There you go.
These are all nicknames he stole from my character.
So how are you guys doing tonight? Any hot topics? I mean, we can talk about bodybuilding. We just had the Tampa. If you guys want to talk about that and Nick and all that, we just kind of talked over that a little bit.
I know jack shit about what happened in Tampa. Does anyone want to fill me in?
Nick won.
Nick won? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
By a lot.
Was anybody competing close to him? Like, was Hollingsworth any good, or was anybody any good?
Yeah, that was the best James I'd seen on a picture, but I don't know. I mean, it seemed to be it was blew the doors off.
I'm telling you, Lambo.
Yeah. I mean,
the guy.
Sean?
Sean broke up a little bit.
I was hoping that it was the contribute to his good condition.
Sean, what's going on with your connection, bro?
Your connection's a little off there, buddy. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. This is a connection like speed, I think, but we'll get it. The one thing about this show, we do everything live. We don't give a crap.
We have an editor for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
makes for some authentic moments, you know.
It's live without a net, 100% live.
Let's see. So Todd did a commercial. You're selling estrogen pills? What you doing?
Jesus.
It's the new estrogen support product.
Nice.
The commercial for that. It should be dropping soon. We're not taking pre-orders yet until it's off of production. I don't like to do that. But once it's already off the ling, it's in the bag, it's in the boxes, it's ready to ship, that's when I'll put it on for pre-sales.
Hang on. Was it designed by women for women?
No.
No.
By me for men. This is the estrogen support. There is a female estrogen support product I have developed, but there's like 3% of my audience is women, so it's not like a top priority right now.
Understood.
Is it
Gotta go where
mostly
the
things
audience
like
is.
calcium D-glucarate, stuff like that, or?
Correct. Yeah, it's got that
Yeah.
in the clear it. I've got 3 different AIs to lower
Wow.
estrogen without crushing it. And then
Yeah.
I've got S-equal in there to replace the estrogen beta stimulation you're losing from the estrogen. So we're not going to lose any anabolics. We're not going to lose any bone health. Theoretically, you're just going to lower the estrogen alpha stimulation. So you're going to get no gyno, all the good stuff, none of the bad stuff. That's the theory behind it.
That's cool. That'd be useful for people with like endometriosis and stuff like that.
Well, that's different. That's
something else.
men don't have endometriosis. This is the men's.
Oh no, I was
Thanks.
talking about the female product they had.
Right. The
Yeah.
female is a completely different product.
Oh,
That
okay.
one's much simpler than this one. Yeah, I'm not attacking or suppressing estrogen alpha binding. It's mostly about preventing cancerous estrogens from being present and clearing them, which is also in the men's one. The men don't give a fuck about that. They just don't want bitches.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Right.
I believe so. Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
Also, it should help sequester some DHT because if we're decreasing aromatase, that means there's going to be more product for the 5-alpha reductase enzyme. So theoretically, you'll get a drive towards more DHT product. So I want to clear that DHT. Not that DHT is bad, but that we don't want to have an upswing in DHT and a decrease in estrogen because hair is going to take a beating in that.
So it's going to help
It
indirectly
produces
mop up
like a more
excess DHT.
balanced profile.
Yeah, exactly. It's really made for dudes who are going to be using Arimidex prophylactically. Rather than do that, this is a better prophylactic agent.
I can believe that easily.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smart.
That's a good idea. For
I hate
sure.
Arimidex right
There's
now.
a lot
I
of dudes that do that too. So
But it's a billion of them.
I've seen guys go from 20 milligrams a day of test and be fine. They go up to 25 milligrams a day and they immediately have sensitive nipples. So it's like those people who want to run higher end HRT, it's made for them. Plus, you don't have to take all 6 pills. You can take like 1 of the pills or 2 of the pills. You don't have to take the max dose.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea for sure. For sure.
Thanks, man.
So,
Bodybuilders
Okay.
would take 12.
so what?
Bodybuilders would take 12.
Yeah, of course.
I
Because
don't
more
know
is better.
whether it would even be the right move if someone's using a ton of stuff because the AIs are mild. So each one should be suppressing 30 to 40%. So like what's 0.6 to the third power? I mean, that's going to be like about 24% or something like that. So we'll have like 24% of the total estrogen there that you would normally have. But then the S-equal should fill in the gap. So it's as if you didn't lose any estrogen beta stimulation. But I don't know if that's going to work the same as someone's doing 1,000 tests a week, you know?
Right. Yep. There he is. The molecular.
All right,
is
guys, can you
back.
hear me now? Can you hear me now? Check.
Yes.
oh, that's way
Okay.
better. Yeah.
Way better. Perfect. Whatever it is, do that again next time.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Apparently, he was
I'm
sort of
gonna-
shits a lot on his mic.
So, Nick, since you're Nick and Mike, I'm gonna give you guys like a little bit of extra love here since you guys are new. What have you been up to, Nick? Let's start with you. What have you been up to lately? What's going on with you?
Just work, to be honest. Work. Training's been downgraded to 4 days a week, just so I can have more free time to kind of focus on athletes because Australia's weird. We have like 2 bodybuilding seasons a year because they don't want to spend more money on having more shows. They're just really frugal and they count their pennies. So you've got like a 2 opportunities in the year to qualify and get a pro card. Like there's 2 pro qualifiers every year. That's it in the entire country.
Wow.
And they hand out 1 pro card to each division, provided that there is 5 or more competitors in that division. So
That seems impossibly hard to
How many
win.
people in Australia?
yeah,
this
it
year?
is. Like if you get your pro card in Australia, you're doing all right.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
But yeah,
Sounds
so
like playing the game in hard mode.
yeah,
sure.
yeah, pretty much like God
All
mode.
of
Yeah.
Australia is hard mode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything here can kill you too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
spiders, snakes, everything. But so this period of the year is quite busy. So I've just downgraded to 4 days a week of training. Aside from that, just health maxing, that sort of thing. Just I want to return to competing one day, but I'm not going to rush it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And you, Mike, 9th in Masters, not bad at all.
I'm the in the top 10 amateur heavyweight 50 plus bodybuilders in the country.
That's nice.
Or whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
In my opinion, not much. But if I keep progressing 3 or 4 placings every year, then eventually I might be in contention for a pro card. So I'm not one to quit real easy, but I'm still slugging it out with the powers that be at YouTube and trying to
still working on that. Yeah,
get my channel back. And I'm not hopeful. I've talked to some people who have done this. Some people we all know who have been through this before, and I think I broke the cardinal rule.
Oh man.
So
well,
we'll see, man. You might catch me on Rumble, but one door opens, another door closes. All of a sudden, I've got a bunch of new clients being onboarded and stuff. So maybe I don't have time for YouTube. Who knows?
You sell peptides and make money, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't
kinda
know.
backed you into that corner, didn't they?
Well, hold on. The point he was trying to say was don't use the word. So
Yeah,
Say the word?
let's avoid that. Let's avoid mention of those protein
Yeah.
chains.
Yeah. Well, the allegedly there is 503A pharmacy created things that should be theoretically more legal than other like research type things. And I thought I was working with A, but it turns out that they don't give a shit.
Oh,
A, B, it doesn't matter.
yeah, and I mean,
They want to sell the ads.
he who has the channel makes the rules, I guess. So,
Yep.
or he who owns the platform, I guess, makes the rules.
Todd, you're on Rumble, aren't you?
We did put up a backup account on Rumble in 2023, 2024 in case that happened, and I didn't get any traction over there.
I was the only commenter, I think.
Yeah, very much. Access in Town too. I mean, it's weird that there's no community there.
Yeah, well, it's because YouTube is like the default. It's like it's the same as a computer coming loaded with really, really mediocre Microsoft software because everyone's got it. So they have penetration in the market. They don't need to improve. They just need to be okay.
Yeah, they just
Same
seem to be
thing
the
as a
loss leader
platform.
for Google that that advertises for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if they started banning everybody like overnight, it may be there may be an exodus of the bodybuilding community to Rumble, but as long as like the majority of people are on YouTube, like there's no reason to go over to Rumble because it's
That's that whole
multi-platform,
convenience
so.
of like, if you start going over there, then it's a whole other channel that takes attention and time and that you have to like grow. And, it's a tough.
Well, you get monetized from day one, but even Chase, who went over there with a huge following already, I mean, he's only got like 13,000 subscribers or something.
But,
so,
Yeah.
it's a tough road to hoe either way. I've been looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the 13,000 are serious people, the conversion rate on sales might be approximately the same.
Yeah, exactly. You might get less traffic and less views, but you're actually getting more like conversion to paying customers. Yeah.
Yeah, Chase knows sales. He's doing all right on there.
Yeah.
I'm sure he does.
He's got a top tier booth at the Olympia, so I'm pretty sure his company's doing good.
Yeah.
Who all
he's
is going to the
definitely-
Olympia?
So what?
Who all is going to the Olympia?
I am not. I am going to
You gotta show
bring
him.
everything back to the Arnold. That was too much fucking fun. I'm going there.
I was gonna try to do it, but I've got a friend's wedding in Thailand in a few weeks, so I'll be flying over there. And whenever I fly too far, I need the extra legroom, so I usually have to like fork out the money for business or something. So it's off the cards for me.
Yeah.
My first show
Where
was
is
week
it?
after
This
the
year.
Olympia, so
Vegas.
Vegas.
Oh, okay. Oh,
And it's a
man.
week earlier
Vegas is
this year,
nice.
so it's the last weekend in September instead of the first weekend in October.
Mm.
Yeah, it's only like a 2-hour drive for me, 3-hour drive for me, but
Nice.
we're going on
It's
vacation.
the
so I'm not going.
only positive of living in California.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I
no,
think
the
the
other
Olympia sucks.
positive is beaches and weather,
Yeah,
which
true.
you
true.
probably
Yeah.
also have in Australia, but you also have snakes that'll kill you. So
I mean,
Oh yeah, that's true.
that's
Yeah.
everything.
I can't
What
imagine.
what kind of snakes do you have out there?
we've got rattlesnakes and stuff, but
Oh.
they're not like really like around. Like they're up.
Yeah,
in
we got some
mountains, you know.
stuff around here for snakes.
I
We got
got the most dangerous area. I've got moccasins. I've got
Yeah.
alligators.
Mm.
I've got bears.
copperheads. You got copperheads too.
I thought a
Crazy.
moccasin was just a shoe. I thought that was just a shoe.
A water
Come on.
moccasin is bad news.
That's one of the most
Do you know?
poisonous
Do you know what brown snakes are?
Yeah.
The what?
yeah.
Brown snakes. So like when I
Brown
was when I was a kid, I grew up in a bit of a rural area, and it wouldn't be uncommon for me to come home and see a taipan or a brown snake on the front porch. Like
Yeah.
Are brown snakes poisonous or dangerous?
they're in the top 10 most venomous snakes in the world.
Shit,
Taipans,
they're really
taipans,
dangerous.
I think
Okay.
I think taipan's 1 and brown snake's the 3rd most venomous snake in the world. Yeah.
I mean, Australia is literally a fucking thunderdome for the eco.
It is like, yeah. Then we've got like, what is it? White-tailed spiders. We've got,
You got
Oh,
Ibikanji.
every spider you can think of. It's, yeah.
You know,
not nice.
you heard of the Ibikanji, I'm sure, right? The little jellyfish or whatever that are invisible that will
Yeah.
just sting you once or you're done.
Yeah.
And you're done.
That's
There's
a real
no-
thing?
Nothing. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ibikanji are a real
All right,
thing.
Nick, how many dead friends do you have from like random shit or just random people that you've heard?
Oh,
Ooh, I wanna-
shit, a lot.
Really?
More
I thought
than
he
this
was
many
joking.
hands. This many fingers
Yeah.
or more?
I
Yeah?
couldn't count on my hands.
Do you know more dead people than me? Wow.
Yeah, it's scary. Like,
Congratulations.
I mean, I think by the time I left high school, I already knew 3 dead friends.
God bless.
And then
Have
it
you ever
just
been hit with
obviously
a
I'm in my 30s now, so I've racked up a few more.
Exponential growth
Jesus,
for
man.
that one.
That's crazy. That's like
that's sketchy, dude.
living.
Todd, did you try the limbo out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
'cause
Todd, did you
you-
try it too?
I think you sent it in an envelope, and then that probably went in my mailbox, and I don't have a key to that. So I had asked the maintenance if they drop off some extra keys in the mailbox, and then they said they did, and I'm like, you didn't. And then I talked to the owner, you have to go to the post office. So yesterday I went to the post office and showed them my leasing agreement, and they're going to change the locks on my mailbox so I can get into it.
So I've created a whole fiasco for you here. I'm
But this is
sorry.
why
Like, you
Well,
are
you
the
can
only
make.
person who sent me mail. It's
Yeah.
just like, it's like I wonder how long it's been since I opened the box.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
There's
have
probably
been-
like some treasures in there, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe there's
2024,
2 or
maybe.
3 credit cards that I had.
Maybe some devoted fans have sent you some gifts as well.
I do have someone who sent me a letter that they told me
Okay.
wow.
Well, that's
they
important.
put their
Okay.
feelings in a letter
Quality,
and
man.
sent it to me.
Was it like nice
was
and
it?
endearing or
Yeah,
creepy?
I was gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a client that's really, really happy, and he wanted to put
Oh,
them
okay.
in words, because telling me on the phone, I'm going to forget. But if he writes a letter, then I can read the letter over and over again.
Yeah.
That's
You
wow.
can get way more endorphin out of that by reading
That's
it every
awful.
so often. Yeah.
Beautiful,
I think that's
man.
probably one of the best things about being a coach is being able to have that kind of impact on people. I mean, I know we don't do it to be all touchy-feely and stuff like, but it is kind of nice when you
I do.
realize you've had that kind of a positive impact on someone's life.
It scares me.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's being a person of service was something that I grew up that was like taught in like to me like from being a child. So it makes sense. That sense of satisfaction of helping someone out.
You said
I
it
just
scared
feel
you, Todd? What
very
was that?
pressure. Like if if you can really help somebody, if you say the wrong thing at the wrong time, you can really hurt them too.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, I guess there's that
So like
possibility.
all those people that hate me, are people that
Yeah.
used to like me and I hurt them somehow. Even if I haven't
Yeah.
met them. That's why they hate me, is I hurt them. So it's
Yeah.
like there's hundreds, if not thousands of people who hate me. So like, and that's
Yeah.
because I've hurt all of them because I was insensitive with their feelings.
If you hate
Maybe.
Todd, leave a comment on our YouTube.
Yeah, if you hate me.
Yeah.
Well, there's one dude that really hates me. He comments everything. I think his name is Robert Roberts or something like that. He's got
Oh, that dude. Yeah.
I'll have to look for him. That sounds fun.
he's the one person.
2 first names.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess you had that's like a reverse fan, but it happens when you put yourself out there. You know, I had somebody recognize me from the podcast for the first time last week, and it was bizarre. It was bizarre. Yeah, at the gym.
Oh,
Just at
your
the gym.
Oh,
Yeah, new gym
wow.
member. He was like, "Oh shit, are you the Rest 41 guy?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Right?
It was really weird
nice.
and still
because it's the
can't-
first time I've ever met somebody that knows about me and I know nothing about them, which
Yeah.
is really weird. You know?
Parasocial relationship.
Yeah, when they know all about you. That's why
Yeah.
I'm like really open about one
Mhm.
pie slice.
An aspect.
And
Yeah.
then no one looks for the other pie slices because they think they've got all the story.
Yeah. That's
That
a good
way-
idea because Yeah.
So otherwise, it's really scary. Like, like people start talking to you about, like, I don't have kids, but if someone starts talking about your kids, like, oh, I'm so happy so-and-so graduated kindergarten. Like, the fuck? Who are you? It's like,
I think that's one of the 48 laws of power.
Is
which
it
one?
The pie slicing. Yeah.
the
Wait, what?
slicing? The
Oh.
slicing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I read Robert's books. I watched an interview with him recently where he's like, yeah, those are really evil books. I'm like, thank you, Robert, for saying that, because I felt evil just reading them.
But you can learn about something and not have to use it and deploy it. You can just know about it so that if somebody tries to pull it your way, you're aware, maybe.
It certainly exposes the darker side of human nature. I don't know if they're inherently evil, but definitely like Machiavellian, right?
Machiavellian, right.
The 48 laws of power isn't pure evil, right? But then if you take the fourth law, and he wrote a book about that one, the law of seduction, and he wrote the art of seduction, that book's evil as fuck.
I love this book.
That book's evil as fuck.
It's all about, I assume it's all about manipulation of all kinds.
He literally calls them victims. Like,
That's a
there
good book.
it is.
This is a
human
really
nature
good
is
book.
also very good.
Which one is it?
The Laws of Human Nature. Who's that? Who's the author?
Robert Greene also?
Green, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Robert Greene.
Yeah,
The only
Roger
one I
Green.
haven't read is the one he did with 50 Cent.
Oh,
Shit.
That's probably the best
A book
one,
with
dog.
What's that with the
50 Cent?
laws of slinging?
That's the only one I want to read. actually.
50 laws or something like
The
that.
laws of the
Yeah.
hustle.
The 50
The
laws.
laws
Yeah.
of the
There's
game.
even one that's like a daily devotional kind of book where you've got a one
Like
every day.
daily
to read
reflections of 50
365.
Cent?
was it called Learn Human Nature or Die Trying?
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Or die trying
Hey,
indeed.
Hey, 50 Cent is a billionaire. He made all kinds of money.
Yeah,
But it's got to know
honestly,
something.
he's.
You know?
I mean, I've got to take my hat off to 50 Cent. He's pretty impressive, eh?
Yes.
Like to
I
be
read the
shot that
48
many
Laws of
times.
Power. The first time I read it, I was like, I got like a few chapters in, and I was like, I'm not reading this. I'm not doing.
I've never read it.
I'm not.
and-
I'm not behaving like this in society. Like, there's no
it's
way.
really
Well, so-
bad.
To give you some context, I read The Prince, Machiavelli's The Prince in 8th grade or something, and I felt bad knowing what I learned from that book and how it could be applied. That's in 8th grade. I don't want to. I don't.
Yeah,
think
in
I wanna
8th
read
grade, I
any
was
of this.
reading like Machiavelli and Mein Kampf. It was bad. You know,
Oh,
like,
I was
I
reading
had no
Carl
business.
Jung.
Well, the
Yeah.
idea is not that you're learning tools to use; it's that you're learning that those things exist, so you know that they're not being used on you.
8th grade, I was reading The Count of Monte Cristo and Juvie.
That's a good novel. I mean,
Funny, I
Grand
also
Theft
Why
read,
Auto,
are you
8
in
counts of
juvie?
burglary. Grand Theft Auto, 8 counts of burglary, destruction of property.
you realize this is being recorded and will be broadcast to a
All
very
of us
large
is
audience
white.
of people.
I was
Obviously,
what?
this-
8th grade, man. That's all erased.
yeah, but well, it's not a race now. You just said it.
I don't care. What are you gonna do?
the whole
is a
point
fun
of having
story
your
for me.
fucking record expunged when you're a kid is that it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't care.
So
Yeah,
no
that's the
one
deal. It
knows.
happened a long time ago. It doesn't matter.
Especially
this
if,
is all
it's,
made up
if it
character
happens
shit. But no, it's just
pre-social media. That's golden. You don't want to bring that up
Oh,
again.
yeah, I did all my dirt
Yeah.
before social media existed. I was like, what the hell's going on
I
here? Why
want
are
you
we
guys
stitching
to think
ourselves out?
about that.
That
I
is
grew
the
up in a time
only-
period without camera phones or cell phones,
Mhm.
and that all my 20s,
Yeah.
all my
Same
teen-
here.
Ditto.
There's no.
Mike and I,
evidence
we're in our
of
50s.
anything.
We know all about the things that we got away with.
Right? How much
You
does
know,
these
you
guys
know
get
what?
away with?
Here's what I'm most grateful for is that I got sober before cops started carrying tasers.
That's good.
That's so fucking true.
That's a survival realization right there. Jeez. I was
Well, they
never,
just used
I was
batons
never,
back then, right?
when I would drink and be all like under the influence, I was never like a fighter. I was always more of like a entertainer.
Yeah.
You know, I thought
Yeah,
I
like
was
when you
hilarious.
were,
I probably wasn't.
When you're on the
Yeah, when I
NXT
get
and
drunk,
you're
I just
hanging
turn
on
into the
tables,
court
yeah.
jester. That's my job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like you, Sean. Like just like,
Yeah.
hey, it's
Yeah.
funny. you
I
know?
don't drink.
But
Me
I
either.
don't drink anymore. Now you know why.
Drink either. Yeah.
I was.
I'd rather take steroids. How about Todd?
Yeah, rather use your liver on stuff that grows your
Come on, let's
muscles.
talk
That's a
about
better way.
Yeah, that grows
Better
your
way to do it.
muscles or does something better for you.
You gotta
At
jack
least
up
there's
your
some-
ALT.
Yeah. Great LT will do it.
Hey,
That's
what do
good
you
stuff.
guys think,
how many years?
Todd and or Sean?
many years,
What do
guys?
you guys think about some of these protocols that people are using to restore SHBG?
Why?
Yeah, what's the deal with that? Why would anyone want to do that?
like getting their SHBG higher.
Just
Yeah.
just go on a
Well, the
cruise,
theory
a
is that
drinking
there's
phase,
like
and
an
it'll go to
androgen
normal.
receptor on there's an SHBG bound androgen receptor, and that does something. But the research, at least from what I've looked into, is pretty thin on it.
The way it was explained to me by the only people that potentiate this, and I think it's the same person you're thinking of, is that they believe the SHBG androgen complex binds to the outside of the cell with the SHBG, and that facilitates the testosterone moving inside the cell. That
Yeah,
which
it's
it
a
shouldn't need
transporter,
help.
basically.
It's lipophilic anyway. It should just make it through. I don't know why it would need to be facilitated transport through the cell.
See, well, one of my earliest influences, I won't say mentor because he would quite literally bash my head against a brick wall, Broderick Chavez.
Yeah.
He hates the word mentor. Don't ever say it to him. He'll lose his shit.
Yeah, I'm going to tell him you said that, actually.
Yeah.
I'm friends with Rania. I'm
But
telling
no,
my friend.
Broderick's a good old friend, and he said to me, evolutionarily, like the purpose of SHBG, the way he understood it, I could be paraphrasing him wrong, so don't like assume that I'm saying what he said word for word, but basically it acts as kind of like a regulator of androgens, like free circulating androgens. So basically, if we didn't have SHBG, our testosterone levels would just be going like this in our body, like up and down very aggressively. It kind of flattens the curve a bit, so we have more of a stable level of androgens in our system, like. Yeah. So because what happens is obviously it binds to testosterone, and when it's bound to testosterone, that testosterone is technically inactive for the most part. And then there's a certain lifespan for SHBG, and then it will unbind. And so once testosterone levels start to decline a little bit, some unbinds from SHBG, then that obviously brings back up circulating androgens a little bit. So it's kind of like creating a more stable gradient. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
But
It
doesn't
does.
It also
albumin do that anyway?
Right.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
that's the thing, and so I haven't looked into it enough. I don't really understand. I guess that the way I see it is biology, like, wouldn't have, or evolution wouldn't have led to the, I guess, creation of SHBG if there wasn't some purpose to it, right? But what
It
purpose
also
is that?
regulates your hormone profile in a way.
Yeah,
Like for example, one thing, it does have a higher DHT has a higher binding affinity to SHBG. So
well,
someone
that's
with a
useful.
normal SHBG is going to have less free DHT and less active DHT,
Less hair loss,
relative to
things like that.
testosterone, because testosterone has a lower affinity. And
Well,
also only free tests can 5-alpha reduce and aromatize.
that makes a little
SHBG bound test
lot of
can't do
sense.
those. So it's sort of like, I mean, I sort of see it mostly as like a regulator of, your hormone profile. Like that's kind of the one undeniable thing that it does do.
That's why
Um,
when people complain about Masteron causing hair shedding, they probably have a high SHBG and they're running a high test. Then the Masteron binds to the SHBG, bumps all that DHT off in the circulation.
Then you got so
Well,
much free tests.
Well,
And
it's
then
more so that it bumps the test in the
testosterone.
circulation,
Yeah, the test
which
connector,
then
yeah.
5-alpha reduces in the tissue, because circulating serum DHT is not a primary contributor.
I know, but that's so complicated. that
Most people are
when I
not going to
explain
understand
to
that.
them,
Yeah.
right? If
Yeah.
you can
It's very
stop
simple, but it's hard to explain.
Masteron,
Basically, it explains why low SHBG from anabolic users, or it explains the relationship between that and hair loss on cycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It also
Yeah, it's
regulates
one of the big
the
factors.
balance of androgens to estrogens because testosterone and DHT bind more tightly to SHBG. So it's a way that your body can regulate the estrogenic side of the signal.
So there's
as
probably
well. So
some
it's another nod
potential
there.
offset kind of like cardiovascular benefits too.
Does anyone monitor it in their
Maybe.
clients?
If you're actually controlling your hormone profile, though, I don't think it's one of the big factors that matters. Like if you're natural, like you were saying, Nick, like it may regulate, the release of hormones over 24 hours or something like that. But if
Yeah.
like for example, if you're on TRT, you're taking a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor, like you know what's going on in your blood. I don't think, and obviously a lot of people that are doing that are, on the Olympia stage or,
Yeah.
men's physique competitors. Like it's obviously, I don't think, like, I mean, if you look at the results that some people get with it, it clearly can work, but is it like, is it necessary? Is it a limiting factor to, have SHBG there? I don't really like, I'm not personally convinced.
Yeah, I don't think SHBG is that important, like beyond a point. I agree. I think if anything, it gives us more of a reason to kind of shit on enclomiphene and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of
Agree with
reasons to
that.
shit out on clomiphene.
Oh,
above
plenty.
and beyond that,
There's so
yeah.
Let's get on
many.
some sperm too. Come on.
So what about its effect though on other like sex hormones, right? Like in sexual performance, SHBG.
So this is an interesting question. If you have a certain amount of SHBG and say, for example, you're on TRT, if you sort of have like a storage, if you're to use something like Proviron acutely, that's going to provide a greater effect because it's freeing up more DHT compared to someone who already has crust SHBG. Their DHT is like more constant. If they do Proviron, it's not going to have as big of an effect as someone who does have SHBG.
Mm.
So let me ask a really stupid basic question. I lost it. Never mind. I just answered it myself in my head and it was too stupid to say out loud.
Well, now I want you to ask it. Come on.
No.
Somebody
No,
watching
it was
wants to
something
hear it.
along the lines of like, so high DHT means so less hair, but better dick. Is that how it works?
Kinda.
So
Kinda.
I mean, different tissues express different
Right.
enzymes. Some people
Right.
just don't have the gene. Like look at this
Oh.
guy Levon, the arm wrestler. He's like I've heard like literally like grams and grams and grams of gear. He still has hair. It's insane.
I think, yeah.
So for some people it just doesn't matter, but the data does show it's actually more so how much 5-alpha reductase you have.
Okay.
So people in balding scalps is because they have more 5-alpha reductase there rather than more circulating androgens.
Gotcha.
If that
Okay.
makes sense.
No, it does actually. You answered my question beautifully.
Something my dad always used to say was like, yeah, because we go bald because we have a lot of testosterone in our family. It's like, we're expressing 5-alpha reductase a lot more than everyone else. That's what it is. You know?
My interest is sparked by after using higher doses of DHT derived steroids is something that's relatively new for me, maybe like the last 4 years or so. But I've noticed that in doing that, my SHBG numbers are just completely crushed, which that was never a problem with me before. And then I've had a greater
Have you had libido issues?
Yeah, I've had a greater suppression in sexual performance. So it's not even necessary like the libido is a little inconsistent, but just being able to perform consistency, like really very poor sensitivity, inability to ejaculate, that kind of stuff. So
Did you take
DHT.
Do you take dutasteride or finasteride, Mike?
No.
Okay.
In the morning. And the other thing is like, and I hate to say it, is that we're older, Mike.
No, but look, see,
I refuse to accept that.
In Mike's defense, I've actually noticed that with younger individuals I've had consults with, like people who have low SHBG, they do have erectile dysfunction.
Okay, so you've seen a pattern, an anecdotal pattern at least.
And I'll be honest, I've personally experienced that myself before when SHBG was completely tanked below the reference range. If it's in the reference range, like, or kind of at that threshold, everything feels fine. But as soon as it's below the reference range, like it's, game over.
Is it like a dimmer switch on your libido, basically? Like just like a,
basically it results in like, just not being able to kind of, and not having the desire to a degree as well. Yeah.
So it's both. It's the libido and the performance aspect.
For me,
I personally,
about
and
sensitivity.
then the anxiety from that, I think, makes it even worse and can compound it for some individuals.
Sure.
The sensitivity and the ability to finish is the two biggest things for me. So
yeah.
I think that may have to do also with the way that, like we were saying, SHBG affects the just overall hormonal profile. It tilts the balance more towards androgens. I think perhaps if you guys, like if someone with low SHBG were to sort of add like more estrogen, that would maybe solve a bit of the problem. That probably also would drive up SHBG a little bit though, inadvertently. But
Well,
I mean, every
the
tissue,
protocol,
there's
Chris.
what was that?
That's the protocol. So you take a compound that doesn't aromatase like Trenbolone, and then you use exogenous estradiol, and then that is the restoration protocol to restore the SHBG.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Like the only thing that really seems to, especially above and beyond estradiol, that really seems to stop, neurotoxicity on Tren is some specific androgen signaling from testosterone. So I'd always run testosterone with Tren. I wouldn't do that. Absolutely wouldn't do that.
Yeah, we all know
Well,
that one
is
person
that
that's run
true,
Tren
though, or
without testosterone. They've got some screws loose. They do.
Sean, is that true though, or is that just because the testosterone aromatizes into estrogen? Because I've seen like
well,
sort
this
of
was in what's the Phenoplex H, the one with estradiol in it. So they tested that against Tren with testosterone, and the Tren with testosterone seemed to ameliorate some of the neurotoxicity associated with Tren a little better. And keep in mind, like all these steroids don't necessarily bind with SHBG to the same affinity. Like the hydrogen bond anchor basically like grips the 17 beta hydroxy group. So there's like MET basically has no SHBG binding at all.
Does
And
Tren
there's,
have
it's,
any?
was that at an equal serum estradiol though, with the estrogen versus tests with Tren?
I think that's what they were looking at, but I'm not. I'd have to look at the study. But yeah, fair to say that, having some androgen signaling from, specifically from DHT, right? Because Tren can't convert. And because you get the downstream metabolites that you talk about so much, with
That's true.
DHT, right? So,
Which
those
is
are
ironic,
estrogen.
'cause
That's
the goal that Mike's talking about is sexual performance. So if we were to wipe out those neural DHTs, then you wouldn't have the drive anyway.
yeah, because Tren is a strong androgen, but it cannot replace DHT's metabolism.
Nope, it can't. That's true.
So it'd be a better idea to run a DHT derivative alongside the
No,
estradiol.
not necessarily. I mean,
Well,
you
you
want to
just
have some.
test converts into both. Like
Yeah,
it's just the
yeah.
simplest way to do it.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, Sean. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but tests can also adversely affect SHBG.
Well,
I think that if your test is low enough, it's not going to make a difference. I think if you're using enough tests to get enough DHT to get a normal sex drive, and then you're using the estrogen, like you're letting estrogen get high, your SHBG should just come up.
It's a short couple week protocol anyway, so it's not like I'm going to
okay.
my brain in 2 or 3 weeks. But
Then,
yeah,
well, let us know how it goes, though. Then
yeah.
whatever.
I honestly
it's weird
think
not being on
exogenous-
test, dude. And I'm actually strong as fuck in the gym, so it's weird.
Well, keep in mind when you wipe out allopregnanolone synthesis via feedback on the progesterone receptor with Tren, you're losing that GABAergic potential over there. And then you don't have any DHT converting to the metabolite that binds estrogen receptor beta, then you kind of have a double whammy of really nothing except for estradiol, dealing with the brain associated neurotoxicity. Like that's the only thing putting a clamp on the glutamate signaling. So, at least mechanistically from my perspective, absolutely not a good idea. Long term, especially, I'd say.
And your brain knows what to do with the test better. Your brain will actually convert it to E2 where it's meant to convert to E2 and convert it to DHT and DHT metabolites where it's meant to.
Yeah. Now, could you take exogenous DHT and probably solve the problem? Yeah, but that's like more steps,
Exactly. And
so.
it's not like exogenous DHT can replace some of it, but there are areas of the brain that have higher 5-alpha reductase than others that should have more DHT converted locally than from serum.
That makes sense.
So testosterone is better for that
100%.
purpose.
Yeah, because it allows
well.
your brain to decide exactly how much DHT is in each area.
Yep.
And downstream how
allows
much of those metabolites are required to, have optimal function.
Yeah, it's
the
why
body
your
figures out a
genes-
lot of stuff naturally. It's
Yeah.
doing so many things under the hood, and if you change the natural order of things too much, you can get yourself in trouble. So that's my only concern.
There are
I assume
people
that's
who
the
are
same
running
reason
that
they're using
protocol.
bioidentical, I guess, agents is better than anything that's like fully synthetic and so forth, because your body already knows what to do with it.
It's up to a point. I think what
To a
we're
point.
saying is HRT test is good, but to grow
Yeah.
muscles, use anabolic steroids.
Yeah. If
I
you want to
agree.
get big.
If you're on Tren, I would not run a lot of tests, right? Like that's just it's never a good idea. It always seems to cause problems with like 90% of people. So
Even with micro doses of Tren, like 5-10 a day, asking
yeah,
for a friend.
it seems like it. Yeah. What do you think, Todd? I don't know. What do you have?
I
What have
mean,
you seen?
well, I want to know what your reasoning is. Like, for example, remember, for the audience, I was on 120 test, 80 primo, 100 mast, and 20 Tren. Everything was fine. Increased to 40 Tren. Pretty much lost my damn mind. Dropped the Tren and then just replaced the 40 Tren with like mast primo. So that right now I'm at 120 test, 100 primo, and 160 mast. So
That's daily?
that's daily.
Okay.
So it's 380 daily.
Wait, so 120 tests daily? And how much Tren?
Right now it's 0. Was at 30. I was handling 20 a day fine, went up to 40, was not handling it. And
so 20 to 30 a day of Tren with 120 tests a day, you felt fine with that?
Yeah.
Well, there's more. Remember, there's the 100 Masteron and also 80 primo.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, in terms of that testosterone dose relative to the Tren.
Yeah, but in relation to that, if we're going to look at those in isolation, I didn't notice any problems at all with 120 test and 20. Like my sleep wasn't as good as 0 Tren, but it was fine. And then it went way too hard to sleep when I added more Tren. Take out the Tren. Now I feel great. I feel much better without the Tren. Probably 10 Tren was the sweet spot, like I say in my videos, but I don't do what I do in my videos. I do more to see what I can get away with and before I can't get away with it.
Yeah. So most people would hypothetically probably be all right with, say, like 70 tests a day and like 30 Tren a day.
I don't know if that's true. I would probably say that that's what I don't understand with Sean is my question is why is more test with low Tren bad than like why would you want to run high Tren low test rather than high test low Tren?
Yeah,
I don't have a good answer for you, frankly.
I have an answer.
I've seen a lot of people have issues with it. That's all I'm saying.
What issues?
Chris says he has an answer then.
Specifically, I think it's just the higher estradiol. I mean, if you control your estradiol like adequately, it's probably not an issue. But I think where people get themselves in trouble is when they have the progesterone signaling plus the estradiol, and it makes them a little crazy because progesterone not only in the breast tissue, but also kind of everywhere else. I guess for lack of a better word to kind of so everyone can understand it, it makes estrogen signaling stronger and progesterone signaling stronger. They kind of feed off of each other. So if you have
psychological effects,
you get weird psychological problems because they compound on top of each other. So if you try to run your estradiol, like 80, 90, while you're, on a sizable dose of Tren, you're probably going to have issues like 90% of the time. So
I was running 2 different antipsychotics at the time, so I can't really trust my subjective experiences.
Yeah. But
that could have been softening the blow.
I think progesterone signaling sucks, and it's the only bad part about Tren. And if it didn't do that, it'd be the greatest thing ever.
Some would argue it's already the greatest thing ever.
If we could just fix that part, which I don't think it can be fixed. Like, I don't think you could tweak it so it wouldn't bind.
Binding affinity, right?
I think it's like 107. Yeah.
Well, it's 107. I thought it was 70% that of progesterone itself.
107.
No, I'm not sure it is.
It's 107. Okay, wait. I know everything about the PR.
You should by now.
Everything about the receptor.
So in the binding assays that they did on the original patents in the 1970s and the 1960s, it's like 70% of PR.
Okay.
Progesterone. But in the bovine progesterone receptor, which is almost identical to the human progesterone receptor, literally, I mean, it's like 1 for 1. It's not one of these things where I'm like animal extrapolation. No, it's a good proxy.
Good.
It's 107%.
Damn.
So,
but they have human data that it's 7.
Yeah, but the human data is from the 1960s and it sucks. So
their methods to assess back then probably aren't as refined as they are now.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Sakamoto assay they used, which is horribly
pretty weak.
inaccurate. And yeah, so but the modern assays on the bovine PR show that it's like 107%, which is the number I would rather go off
Wait,
of.
what kind of assay did they do
so
with to determine 107%?
I'd have to look. I'm not sure what the assay was, but it's a PR specific assay. It's I think God, I'm trying to remember. I have the data here somewhere. I can see if I can find it.
So I had
Let
an
him run a search.
episode where Ella and me discussed this, the nandrolone's propensity to exacerbate gyno, and that my model that I had proposed was that the progesterone beta receptor stimulates allosterically the estrogen alpha receptor to be more sensitive to binding estradiol. And what Ella had found was that, in fact, the bound progesterone beta receptor migrates to the estrogen alpha receptor and binds itself in there and activates it non-competitively. Like, it's an actual agonist to the receptor's ligand binding area. It's not allosteric.
But the caveat is also Tren has equal affinity. We ran this through a few computers, and it has equal affinity to PRA and PRB. And PRB is the domain repressor of PRA. So it's like the inverse.
It is.
What
I thought
tissues?
I thought it was the other way
the
around.
PRA
Like
and PRB predominantly in?
PRB is the stimulatory one for it's the opposite of estrogen for some reason. That
I might have it backwards. I don't know. It's either
it was
but either way.
counterintuitive. It's like they named it wrong, but the
Yeah.
alpha was the inhibitor and the beta is the stimulator, which is
it could
weird.
be. But so that tissue, there's no tissue selectivity on Tren's side of the binding, but on the tissue side, that's where the selectivity comes in. So whatever tissue expresses more PRA versus PRB, it's what gets repressed and what gets. So in some places in the brain where either PRA or PRB is more present, you may get more or actually less progesterone signaling than you would in the first place. So you get this inverse effect. So that can cause more issues, frankly, because you have super physiological activation over here, and then you have because it's so much that it's going to bind the repressor domain or bind the activating domain, basically based on what tissue it's in, just to a really high degree. So you have too little and too much, in different places. So it's interesting. But yeah,
the concept is that
Interesting.
that's why Tren causes gyno in some rare cases, is that person has bizarre progesterone receptor activity on the breast tissue. So it acts on it in some bizarre way.
Yeah, and for some people may, express the repressor in breast tissue more than they express or close to the, how they express the activator. And then you get maybe you get less breast, tissue production. But I think the vast majority of people, it makes things worse. And that, just the fact that when you run your estrogen higher on Tren and the breast tissue enlarges so much, that tells you that, everywhere else that's happening to some degree, that it's kind of, they're potentiating each other to some degree. And so that's the concern with running your estradiol too high. Thankfully, Tren is kind of like an aromatase inhibitor, sort of ish. So there's that.
Yeah. I think the main use of it is a small amount when you're cutting or recomping. That's be a reasonable way to add it in, because it's going to speed you up a little bit. It's going to make you sensitive to glucose a little bit. It'll depress your appetite a little bit, but the downside is that it might fuck up your sleep. But if you're dieting, you don't need sleep to burn fat as much as you need sleep to build muscle. So I think that you can get by on 6 hours of sleep on a diet where you need 9 hours to sleep in the off season.
Yeah. I've had a lot of success using it in a pulsatile manner too, like having I guess brief stints of using Tren in a contest prep, then removing it for a while, then reintroducing it, that sort of thing. I don't know if you've done that before. I'll keep the dose always conservative. Obviously, I don't think I've ever advised somebody to go over 30 milligrams a day.
You also have to remember, if you do 50 acetate a day, it gets up to 500 in the blood. If you do 20 anaphate a day, it gets up to 3,000 in the blood.
Yeah. I always use
milligrams a day. I'm talking about anaphate. So it would get up to 1,500 in the blood.
Yeah.
Whereas you'd have to run 150 a day of acetate to hit that level.
Yeah, I deliberately try avoid using anaphate though for that reason. And also if somebody doesn't respond well to it, obviously the clearance time is going to be a little bit quicker with the acetate. so you can remove it and have things normalize.
I
that
kind of have an issue with that a little bit, because it's
Yeah.
like when you say like an issue in response to it, like what is really going to be that big of a deal that being on Tren for a few more days is going to ruin your life? Like,
Right.
is it like what seriously can actually happen?
I
You
really
know?
think that the subjective experience is the acetate, not the trend itself. It's the huge influx of trend to your brain in just a few hours. Whereas if it took 3 weeks to get there, you're not going to freak the fuck out. Your rest of your brain's going to be able to adjust to what's going on.
Because it's been slowly
Yeah.
adjusting as you go.
It's like a frog in a pot. If you turn up
Yeah.
the water slow, it doesn't jump out.
And I mean, I haven't heard stories like I don't
climb to peak saturation levels rather than a volatile one.
So back to the PR, it's the tracer they used was org2058, which I think is a synthetic progestin radioligand. And the readout as far as the RBA, which they computed as a baseline set to progesterone, was actually 137.4%.
Oh shit! It's way stronger than progesterone for its own receptor.
Yeah, 1.4 fold.
And that's
then
prolactin is from the
and then layer that on top of the fact that, you know, sometimes people are running, you know, say, you know, 200-300 milligrams, which is like, you know, so far above anything male physiology is designed to handle. You know, it doesn't it makes sense why people have so many mental issues on Trenbolone, you know.
Well, the cows only.
And here's another interesting factoid that you probably know, Sean. Over half of neurons that express estrogen receptor alpha co-express PR. So it's sort of like enhancing estrogen receptor alpha signaling in the brain indirectly through that.
Yeah. And that kind of gets back to my point. I know Todd didn't like this comparison when I brought it up before, but at least with the birth control data, you see women are, you know, more often on antidepressants by like a huge margin when they're on progestin-only antidepressants.
What country was studied?
Wait. Hold on. When did I get in this conversation about that? When did I say that?
I think it was the last podcast or maybe the one before that.
A couple episodes ago.
You said that we can't compare men and women, but the interesting thing is that Tren probably has more PR signaling than many of these progestin birth controls do.
All right, so let me back this up. You're saying progesterone-based birth control is linked to depression in women. Is that correct?
And suicide.
And it scales with dose too. You mentioned
so that means that Tren would make you depressed and suicidal theoretically. Then that's what your point is, correct?
Yeah, it's even stronger than this birth control is, and male physiology also isn't designed to handle progestins at that level. So
it explains the psychological effects of Tren, basically.
It's also a bit different, and I remember we talked about this on the last one we did on your channel, Sean. In that male physiology, having PR agonism isn't throwing a whole wrench in our whole entire reproductive system like it is with women. So like we have a lot more, well, it does, but we have a lot more like mental variables going on. Like if we have stable hormones.
Is this why Tren makes you gay?
Whereas women have their monthly cycle where it fluctuates quite dramatically.
Yeah, and throwing in like a synthetic progestin is totally throwing off everything, not just mentally, but like throughout their whole body. And for us, it's like we already have stable hormones. Like even just having that and being able to control, you know, have testosterone replacement as well, estradiol. Like it would be almost like if you gave a woman bioidentical progesterone with their synthetic progestin. Like it would probably have way less deleterious effects because you're maintaining those bioidentical, you know, neurosteroid pathways. It's kind of the same thing that we do, you know, with replacing testosterone, if that makes sense.
Yeah, having HRT test gives us the buffering agents for these that
Yeah, but that's just one like mentionable difference, I think. Like I just think that's worth mentioning that our situation is a little bit different, but also, you know, I agree with Sean that high amounts of PR signaling, like the body's not made, the male brain is not made for that. The male body's not made for that.
Let's talk about the benefit. Oh shit, we lost Sean right at the worst time. I was going to ask him.
Yeah, see, I'd be interested to see like what the progesterone receptor density was like in different parts of the brain, because that'd probably help, I guess, extrapolate a lot of the psychological effects of Tren in men.
PR. So one interesting thing, and I
I know
mean,
it's
it
a
does
lot
a
in the
lot of things in
hypothalamus.
animals. I've looked a lot into this, not like not the specific brain regions, but more like the behavioral effects.
Yeah.
PR agonism, it increases like infanticidal behavior in male animals. So sort of like aggression towards,
I know what it
others.
means.
Yeah, killing
Explains what we see like anecdotally in male humans then.
Yeah, like an increased I mean,
Aggression.
just like behavioral disturbance, I think is the best
Yeah.
way
Well, I
to
think
Yeah.
describe it.
if something was a crying baby, it would be way worse if you were on Tren. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
you're
Your
like,
reaction to it for
because
sure.
you're gonna react physically before you react mentally.
Mentally. Yeah.
Like, for example, I was trying to open a box that had protein powder in it, and I couldn't get the box open, so I
So you
picked
throw
the
the
box
box.
up and threw it on the floor as hard as I could, and then it broke the box, and then I punched through the box, ripped it open, and took the protein powder out.
And then you thought about what
And
you
I
did
looked
after
at
you
it and was
did
like, "What the fuck did I just
Did
do?"
I just do?
Yeah.
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 Now, if that was a person and they were making noise, it would have been bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can only
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
the
shit.
thing. I think. Yeah. It's. I don't. I
We're
think
animals, man. We smell it and we decide whether we should eat it, fuck it, or kill it, and that's it.
I have none
Sorry,
of these
guys.
problems that Todd is
Or
talking
if you
about.
really twist it,
I
do
know
all
exactly
three.
what he's talking about. I have what the fuck?
Don't eat the baby.
No, I mean, I'm saying I literally work with kids. I've never been happier.
But yeah, and I'm not saying that. I mean, PR, like the aggression thing that Todd's saying is funny, but it doesn't mean you're gonna like humans aren't gonna kill a baby because you're on Tren.
No.
Probably.
Shit.
But it's going to
That's the
gonna
worst
act
side
as
effect
an
profile
amplifier
ever.
to certain-
I used
I
certain
think I might be
behaviors.
very stupid because I'm not getting any of these
Jesus.
effects.
I don't know. I think if you have prolonged exposure to something like a 1,600 milligram dose, I mean, nothing's really off the table.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
I mean, so far so good.
I don't think I ever got to trial high dose Tren in my life ever. The highest I
Yeah.
ever took it, I used it twice. The highest I took it was like, I think, what was it? 140, 150 milligrams a week.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I played with it and it made me an asshole for a month. Like an absolute,
More so.
even more so. Like to the tune of my wife might not let me do a show because it was so horrible how I acted the last month before stage.
Yeah, we were eating pizza
Yeah.
talking about this at the Arnold. It was a great story. He definitely can't tell it on the show, but it's great stories.
Yeah, I think when you
Yeah.
put that whole PR thing into context, like it really shows you how crazy that is.
Yeah.
200,
Well,
200, 300
Is that
milligrams
why I
of
like
Tren,
working with kids?
Maybe.
Moral of the story is Tren's fun and you feel great until you're not sleeping, and then you start going psychotic.
Yeah.
And that's
You
how
got
it
lumberexin for.
is.
Yeah,
Well,
on the
Yeah.
topic of
Your
lemborexin, actually, like I'm quite liking it. I've actually been doing some stuff that I wouldn't advise other people to do. I've been megadosing melatonin with lemborexin.
Wow.
I've
Okay.
been doing that too, actually.
No, I've been doing
But
that
more
since
so
day
for
one,
the-
bro.
because-
We all do that.
Why?
I don't
that's
know
what
if you found.
taking things.
I
What's
don't know
your
if you
megadose of
found, but if you
melatonin?
megadose melatonin, it can actually have the opposite effect in terms of helping sleep. And I find it's more like I'll take the high dose as kind of like a free radical scavenger, like for the antioxidant effects and benefits. And then the lemborexin's more for like the sleep.
Just
side of things.
insurance,
Yeah.
if you will, that you'll sleep well.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I've just noticed.
What do you think about agomelatine?
What are you
Nick?
calling high dose melatonin?
Yeah, I know.
50 milligrams a night.
50.
Yeah.
That's pretty high.
Okay, I think 40.
I take the melatonin for the antioxidant, and I just take the agomelatine for the sleep.
See,
I
I'm
think
doing I'm doing lemborexin for the sleep and then melatonin for antioxidants. Maybe I should
Yeah.
change it.
Or no, sorry. I mean, I take the melatonin for the antioxidant, and I take the agomelatine for the sleep and the lembo.
I take Tren for the sleep interruption and then
Agomelatine
limbo
is
melatonin
also,
to conquer that.
antioxidant and neuroprotective.
I just
That's
keep
interesting,
adding
yeah.
till I pass
I'll
out.
have to look into it. Is it quite easy to source?
India, but
Yeah. Everything.
yeah, that's all. But I mean,
Well,
here's an
let's see.
interesting thing though. Melatonin increases 5-HT2C serotonin subtype signaling, which is actually anti-sleep if you use like a lot of it.
Yeah.
And
That-
agomelatine
I
blocks
think I'm
that.
already blocking that with the trazodone.
Yeah, trazodone also blocks
trazodane's
that.
pretty good.
But agomelatine does too. So it's kind of like a perfect pair with
That's interesting.
melatonin.
Yeah. Do you think you're
it-
better off not running lemborexin if you've got the agomelatine?
Oh, can we
I
shout out
think
the
you can
coach
use-
that started the Limborexant meme? What was it, Coach Mike White? Is that who started it? Does anybody know?
Wait, what?
Who
What,
started
Limborexin?
the Limborexant information? Anybody? Do we have like a source, original guy?
I don't
Not
think so.
sure.
I mean,
I
it's
heard
a
it-
new
I heard it
drug.
first-
It's like
I heard it
it's
first
still
from Sean.
Sean. Yeah, I've only heard it from Sean. I just wondered.
Yeah, it's probably like I popularized it, but I didn't come up with it. To be clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we
It
know
wasn't
who?
my
Can you
idea.
credit him?
Hey, good job.
Oh, it's been in the Discord, the underground
Oh, okay,
like
gotcha.
rumbling.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's been not
relatively
seen.
new medication though in comparison to a lot of other sleep meds like the dual orexin receptor antagonists. Like it's not something that's been around as long as say like clonidine or anything like that.
Yeah.
No,
And
it's not
clonidine
generic,
sucks.
and it's thousands of
Clonidine
dollars in
sucks.
the U.S.
My fiance's got clonidine, and I'm
get
trying to get
addicted.
her to get lemborexin instead.
Yeah, I got a
Benzo
prescription
class
for it. It
only
was
for it.
ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, I got a
Lembo?
script. I got a script in Australia just for the short term, but I'm going to get a more reliable, more affordable supply thanks to a special someone. But yeah, it costs. I think on like to get a no repeat script in Australia, the script alone cost me like $100, but then to get the actual 1 month supply of the medication, it was like nearly I think $200. Like it was stupid. Yeah,
And people in the US are paying like thousands a month.
No,
Really?
much? No.
How
Sounds
much
accurate.
is it per dose normally in the US if you have health insurance and all that? And I know it can wildly vary.
my
but-
copay
On Good
was
RX. On Good RX, it's 135 for
35, yeah.
30 pills, 10
That's a
milligrams.
lot on GoodRx though. I'm able to get 3 bottles of Lantus, which is $1,000 for $35 with GoodRx. So
yeah.
Well, if you really
Okay,
want to do like a mild coma, dead to the world, add some cyclobenzaprine to that, and you'll get good solid 10 hours of uninterrupted sleep.
For the clonidine, it will mess with fat oxidation, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
It's not something you want to use while you're trying to cut weight. It's
That's
pretty,
why I want my fiance to get rid of it. Mostly that, and also the fact that it doesn't really not impact sleep architecture. Like my understanding, it does impact REM and deep sleep.
Yeah,
I
it
think-
seems
I
to
thought it
improve sleep a
improved
little
it.
bit, but I mean, I don't know if it gets rid of. You have less REM because you have less adrenaline.
Yeah.
So but guanfacine works well. Guanfacine won't impact fat oxidation as much, and if you're just trying to block the alpha receptors, that works pretty well. But if you add it to trazodone at a higher dose and you're getting the alpha 1, and then you get the alpha 2 on top of it with guanfacine, it's like that can be a little hypotensive for sure. So
especially with like nebivolol. That's you can if you use a lot of a beta blocker and a alpha agonist, you can cause sudden cardiac arrest even without a blockage.
What's the alpha antagonist?
No, they're agonists.
Oh,
And
Because
what
it's
are
an
those two?
autoreceptor.
Like, what are
Yeah.
examples of each one of those?
So there's like different like the adrenergic receptors. Some of them, if you agonize it, it's like a negative feedback and it tells your body to like lower noradrenaline. Some of them,
Mhm.
if you agonize it, it actually increases like beta receptors. If you agonize them, it increases heart rate and sympathetic activation.
Yeah.
But I mean that's kind of like that's not really super important. Just
Yeah.
important to know. Yeah, like Sean's saying, like don't go hypotensive. Like be
Yeah.
careful with that stuff for sure.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think
because if you're blocking like all the adrenaline from binding everywhere, you can get
You can
yourself in
die.
trouble very.
You can
quickly.
literally die.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's not
People will
something to
take like
play around with.
propranolol, clonidine, and
Yeah, fuck.
trazodone, or the other drugs that block the alpha the alpha 1, the A1 receptor, or I'm not sure what it is, but
That's
yeah, people will take those. That combination can be very deadly. So
Celebrity
people need to be really
disaster.
careful.
Is that why you take
Yeah.
trazodone, Todd, is for sleep?
Todd, do you take trazodone for sleep?
so my sleep stack is as follows.
Okay.
Magnesium bisglycinate, 800 milligrams, trazodone, 50 milligrams, Seroquel, 25 milligrams, 40 milligrams of melatonin. I take also 1 Benadryl, 1 Hirschbedine, which I think is another antihistamine, and then I take 2 or 3 other antihistamines. And then I'm forgetting a couple of them. The GH. I take all the GH right before.
All the GH.
Oh, the
I usually do about
800 milligrams of elemental magnesium. Hey, yeah.
magnesium bisglycinate. I think
Oh,
it's
so that's accounting for the glycine as well.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think
Glycine
there's
is good.
glycine in it too. Yeah.
So probably 200 milligrams of elemental, roughly.
400.
I think it's
magnesium.
4%. I think it's less than that.
So it'd be like around 100 something.
It's like 4 or 14. I forget what it is, but it's very low. The glycine, it's a big glycine.
It is
attached to
big.
magnesium.
Yeah. I just swear I remember 1,000 milligram magnesium. Oh, wait. Yeah. 1,000 milligram magnesium glycinate, a product that I got from the pharmacy the other week. It said, I think 200 milligrams of elemental magnesium per 1,000 milligrams of magnesium glycinate.
Yeah,
That
I
sounds
think it's
like
closer to that. That sounds
20%.
right to me.
Okay. Sure.
No, it's like 14. That doesn't sound right. I think it was 14 or 4.
Well,
I don't know.
I'll
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I might have it
4%
wrong,
is
but
really low. That the magnesium's only 4% of the molecule.
I believe it.
The
No.
bisglycinate is that heavy that the magnesium. Okay.
It's a big boy.
Your alkaline phosphatase would be pretty fucking high then, Todd.
Yeah, it is pretty high. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. No constipation issues.
Yeah.
800 milligrams of elemental magnesium is
That's
is
funny.
already in the bag.
14%.
We're on the magnesium.
14%.
Yeah,
But see, so
yeah,
some
you're right,
people,
Sean, 14%.
funny enough, some people do have to take their elemental magnesium supplementation up to nearly as high as 1,000 milligrams to alleviate low alkaline phosphatase. Like some people have had to do that
To lower alkaline phosphatase or raise the alkaline?
to increase it. Sorry, yeah. So
Why
like,
would you want to raise your
Why?
alkaline phosphatase?
wait,
ALP, why? Raise it up into what? In
That would
range?
indicate you
I'm
got
trying
bile.
to remember if I got this right. It's either low or high alkaline phosphatase can cause like
Bones.
constipation and issues like that. I've found.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, that's if they okay. You need the bile stuff to dissolve fats, right?
Yeah.
So you can adjust your constipation with fat in your diet. So eventually you're going to have so much fat that your bile and liver can't overload it, and it
Yeah.
would force you to have steatorrhea. And then you fix the constipation issue and you can pull back on the fat intake.
That's
But
the
what
method.
if your fat's already low and you're experiencing constipation?
Well, then I would raise your fats,
Raise your fat,
not
yeah.
be unconstipated.
See, okay,
So I might be
get what you're
just,
saying. Sliding scale, find that equilibrium.
Can someone
Okay.
explain ALP real quick? That's not
Alkaline
something-
phosphatase is biomarker that's found in blood work that's about the liver. It's basically the released bile ducts themselves are getting damaged because you're not clearing the bile fast enough. So
But
bile is dissolving
magnesium
the-
deficiency can affect that too, can't it?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I'm
sounds
getting at. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is,
I
if
have
there is
low
a
ALP,
magnesium deficiency present, then supplementing with it can resolve that issue and also restore alkaline phosphatase levels.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Never
But yeah,
done this. I actually
I worded that very poorly. I was like making it sound like alkaline phosphatase is the reason for constipation. But
Oh,
no,
right,
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
I was like,
sorry,
what the-
that's my fault for explaining what I was trying to say poorly.
I mean, it's
Good. We'll learn something.
complicated medicine stuff. I mean, I was talking to a hepatologist. I went with my mom to her hepatology appointment, and I
Yeah.
don't tell my doctor. And the dude had no fucking idea what he was doing.
Yeah.
He was like the
That's
head of the department.
What,
it was
trying to
shit.
like diagnose with like fatty liver disease when her liver was
Well, no,
completely
he
fine.
actually caught that the other guy completely misdiagnosed her. He thought that she had autoimmune hepatitis and wanted to put her on immunosuppressants. And she's like, I don't want to take those. I'm like, your levels have been the same for 10 years.
Yeah.
And you've had the same ALT and AST for 40 years.
And
you've
if she got an
proven that
ultrasound,
wrong
it probably would have
every
been unremarkable.
No, it's just they're so stupid. They see these levels that are high. They're like, we should biopsy your liver. I'm like, that's fucking retarded. We're not going to stab you in the liver to look to see that there's nothing wrong. They're just trying to bill you because you have insurance. If you didn't have any insurance, you wouldn't need that biopsy. Having insurance is the worst thing you could have because the insurance company dictates whether they'll treat you or not and how they treat
Yeah.
you. If you pay out of pocket, they actually have to read your blood work and make decisions with you about your health.
Hard
Yeah.
agree.
Yep.
So for anybody 65, just stay with Medicare. Don't get the extra shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
true.
why you hire Todd.
Medicaid, if you can look poor on paper, get Medicaid, it's way better than any insurance.
Sure.
Everything's covered, but they don't want to do shit
It's about it.
because they don't get paid for it. It's all free. So the
Just
hospital makes no
do
money
that,
running.
open up a
and you-
Roth IRA
They're
and
not
just
going
put
to
money
throw a
into that
bunch
instead of
of
medical
expensive
insurance.
shit to look for problems to fix because then they're out of pocket fixing your problems.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no return on that investment.
No, none.
You know,
The best insurance to have. They have no financial incentive to fuck you over and stab you and shoot you full of radiation.
you're at any
Disclaimer
extra
to
stuff that
YouTube,
you
this
don't
is not
need.
financial
Or,
advice.
yeah.
Don't shut this channel down.
Yeah, by the way, none of us are doctors or giving medical advice. Blah, 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 blah. Disclaimer
yeah.
done.
Yeah.
There we go.
One
Yeah.
of us is the doctor.
Well,
At least
But he's
Uber
not
can give
your
you medical
doctor,
advice
though.
despite any disclaimer.
yeah, but he's
I'm
not your
just telling
doctor,
people
though.
not to use health insurance. I'm not telling them not
Yeah.
to seek medical attention.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
use
Exactly.
your own money, and
Yeah.
you will actually have control over your life. And your doctor and you will make decisions about your life, and you will end up spending less money over the course of your life than if you had the insurance.
Concierge medicine.
Medical professionals see you as a money bag if you've got insurance, basically.
Well, it's the hospital dictates the behavior, and the
Okay.
insurance guidelines dictate behavior and the prescribing behaviors. And we have to do this
Yeah.
test and this test before this medication will get approved.
And then
we
the
have to
doctors are the
fail at
ones
this
stuck in between.
medication for us to get this medication approved. But we have to fail at this and this interventions before that. So it takes 2 years to get the medication you want because you have fucking
That's
insurance.
fucked.
Whereas you could
Yeah.
just buy the insurance medication through a less scrupulous process, and then you can just treat yourself and you're fucking done.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Well,
only
see-
you could go to the pharmacy and tell them, like, hey, dude, I know this. This is what I want to try.
Yeah.
Here's your money. Let's go
Yeah.
home.
With my own health in the past, I've gone through the hospital and stuff, and the way that they handled like the medication and all that sort of stuff, like it was ridiculous. Like they were treating me like I was a 70-year-old fucking geriatric, and I changed a lot of my medication protocols, and I saw significant improvements, like because I just have a little bit, I guess, more incentive to actually look at what's wrong and make the necessary changes that are going to give the biggest return.
Yeah, like actually fix the issue structurally at the source.
No,
You know,
no one
rather
cares.
than-
At the end of the day, no one cares about you and your own health as much as you. I
Let me put it this
strongly
way.
believe that.
Nobody flies from the United States to India to become a doctor.
Yeah,
The only reason to be a doctor is if, like, you don't get any money unless you're in the U.S. So
Yeah.
the talent pool is very shallow in other countries, because if they're only going to be making slightly above the average income, why the fuck would they put that much time and effort into something?
doctors make quite a lot of money in Australia. We'll say that much.
They do.
How much?
Yeah, I think they're on like quite a few 100,000 a year.
Wow. Okay.
When you like
Yeah.
plug in medical
Huge.
school to
It's
how
here,
much?
your average doctor makes about 150,000.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I think that's how much my brother was making out of medical school, and he had him and his wife were both are both medical doctors,
Mm.
and they had $1 million in student loans by the time they got out of medical school.
see, that's the
So,
other
like,
thing that's really
$150,000, bro, with $1 million in debt.
That is
Like,
not,
that is
you're upside down.
Australians are really lucky in that regard. I mean, tertiary level schooling is definitely more affordable in Australia than the United States. And a lot of Australians take it for granted. Like, I'll be honest, most Australians are terrible with their money. A lot of them, like,
Well, you could
so
die
to give you a
anytime.
rough idea of the coaching landscape in Australia, most online coaches in Australia charge, I want to say, it's probably the equivalent to, let's just say, around $300 a month.
Mm.
Like maybe a little bit less than that, sometimes a little bit more. And Australians are flat out like, oh, this is too expensive, I can't afford this. Like they'd struggle to make their monthly payments for coaching at $300 a month. Like, let alone, like, aside the fact that our free healthcare is probably some of the best healthcare in the world, that, like, you don't really have to pay much for medical assistance in Australia. I guess the ratio of, I guess, living costs to salary is pretty good in Australia. I think a lot of Australians are very bad with their money management. And if you've had any Australian clients, you probably identified that just through like observation. They tend to be the ones that are the most flaky, or they tend to be the ones that are most averse to the price of coaching.
Interesting for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so it's the same. A doctor in Australia only makes 180,000 US dollars.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
about the same. That's
Yeah.
pretty good, isn't it?
And the best they can
Yeah,
hope to make is, what do you call it? Like
I'll give you a
500,000
comparison after he gets
Australia.
done.
That's even if they're in their own business. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that makes sense, because when I was thinking a couple 100,000, few 100,000, I was thinking Australian dollars. So US dollars, it converts to about 180,000. Yeah.
Right.
so
You can make that as a registered nurse and go to school for like $10,000.
way less. If you're a
Really?
nurse statist, you can
I
make
do
one
that.
no problem.
Wow. I will say that I have a friend that's a nurse in rural Australia. He makes like, I can't remember what it equated to a year, but per week, I remember his salary worked out to be like $6,000 a week
A week?
for like rural. Yeah, because he decided to go to a rural area, basically where no one wants to go, middle of Australia, like small
Yeah.
town.
Yeah, he
And
created
does
his own
nursing
demand.
there,
Yeah.
and he just uses the money to put into his refurbishing his like house renovations that he does, and he's just slowly building his property portfolio so he can retire.
I would
Nice. Good strategy too,
Yeah.
by going
Yeah.
where the work is and seeing the
be
opportunity.
better
He's
off living
smart. He's a smart guy.
just building up his stock portfolio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if
so he
you
can just step
travel
away
as a
and
nurse,
just
why have a home?
yeah.
That's pretty fucking smart, actually.
Like a lot of smart
Man.
people here during COVID, they just picked up and move, and they can
Yeah.
make double or triple, and as a traveling nurse.
Oh yeah.
It's like almost like being a battlefield doctor as being a traveling
Yeah.
nurse here.
Yeah.
Yeah, how does it sound like a good investment until you like actually own one, and then you
You're stuck
like
with
end up spending so much money
Yeah. Just on
fixing
keeping it up.
things. Oh my
I
god.
have a
You can only
beautiful
write
home,
off
and I
30
can't wait to move into my RV full time.
Yeah.
Oh man.
owning a house sucks unless you have like kids and you need a yard or a pool and you have a dog. But if you're a dude and you live alone, it's fucking retarded to have a house. A condo or an apartment makes much more sense.
It makes if you already own property like outright, it makes sense to own a home because you can build a house on that and you own it outright.
Property, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with you, Todd. I think a lot of cases it's better for people to rent because one, you're not tied to an individual location. Then two, you can pack up and leave if you want to. Like, worst case scenario, break your lease. Best case scenario, end the lease when it's up and then move. And you don't have any kind of I guess anchors or dead weights. You can go anywhere in the world essentially.
The boomers taught us, me and Gonzo, and probably you guys, that the most important investment you can make is buy a home. And
Yep.
you're not really a man unless you own your own castle. But I
For
got
sure.
news for them. They don't have property, they have site condos. When you buy a house, the homeowners association owns the land that your house is on, even though you own it, and you're
Yeah.
stuck to a third set of governmental rules.
Yeah.
And in order for you to actually have any control over your property, you have to live in such a rural place. Good luck getting anything delivered.
Yeah.
So your life is now hard again. So
Yeah.
there is no way to win, especially when the houses are 400,000 now and they're shit. That it
Yeah.
used to be that they could get a 1-year income house, and that's why they are so rich with $1 million assets now.
Yeah.
That'll never happen for people these days.
Yeah. My long-term goal is an off the grid, like own a few like acres or a couple of hectares off the grid property, like self-sustainable, have my own gym there and just not have to deal with anyone.
Any real estate investor though who has
Name
a lot
checks
of,
out.
lot of SFR in their portfolio stays the hell away from homeowners associations. I learned that lesson
you're
the
adding a
hard way.
layer of complexity there.
Yeah.
It's just
I've yet to
extra
see an
government.
HOA. I've yet to see one that has more value than what they charge you for, as far as even keeping the neighborhood looking nice, clean, whatever.
All they do is
fair.
terrorize
It's-
you and fine you for parking in the wrong place and bullshit.
Exactly, for
Yeah.
bullshit.
And when you
Leaving
have a
the
tenant
can
in the,
6
in the
inches out.
building,
It
Yeah.
gives every Karen an excuse to fuck with everyone.
Yes, really it is. It's like, and even the state and local governments don't like them because they're de facto unregulated bans of basically pitchfork and torch mobs. that are going to just persecute you if you're even the slightest bit different.
That's true. It's true.
Fuck
I
HOA.
can see that.
Yeah,
If
I'm
you live in
part
the
of
city-
several investment groups that basically just cater to single family residence investors, and none of them will advocate, list, or market properties that are in homeowners associations. They always look for infill lots to build on and things like that are outside of homeowner associations. And that's Texas, Florida, like anywhere people are actually still investing money into real estate.
Interesting.
So the Tren video is almost out, guys. It's
Hey,
rendering.
Oh, that's right. Today's.
All right,
and
well,
that's why I
nice.
keep crashing, is because it's
And-
rendering on my computer and it's using all of my CPU.
How
That
long
makes
is it
sense.
going to take?
That makes sense.
It's
Yeah.
16-hour render.
What kind of
16
computer? What
hours.
kind of computer do you have?
I've got a M4 Mac Pro.
Okay, so it's actually quite good. Yeah,
It's quite fast, but Claude's putting in all the quote cards for me right now.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Are we
Yeah, 'cause
16 hours to release?
Yeah.
I was having
Let's
issues.
go, dude. I'm excited.
Fuck
Yeah.
yes.
I'm
Fuck
excited.
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
I don't think the world knows what it's about to get. That's why I think you should break it up and spoon feed it to them. Because if you
I
give them
appreciate that.
this, it's just going to be like a 300-pound chick sitting on their face. They're just going to suffocate and they're going to tap out.
Yeah, I might split
Sign
the
me up,
history section
buddy!
and the technical part, because just the history section is an hour and a half long.
And that's what I was saying to Kai. I'm like, he's going to start with the history and people are going to abort mission after 5 minutes. They don't
As
do
long as
yeah,
you
for sure.
timestamp it, you'll be sweet.
Yeah.
timestamp it. I really think you're better off releasing them as a series, like 9 to 12 videos, and at the end releasing the total compilation piece.
Oh,
My
okay.
autism is like fighting. I know that like Todd is completely right.
That
by
is
the way.
completely right.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah,
what
but my
I'm about to say.
autism is fighting me, and it's just like, release a magnum opus, something that you want to
Yeah.
release, and then I'm like, God damn it,
Sean,
you know?
A viable
Tren is
alternative.
forged
Start
by
a
delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Sean
Start
has
a
already
new-
promised me 16 hours for the next Tren video. I need to see it, though. If I can just get a hidden link, that's fine. But
Yeah.
Do that. Make
15 hours, 54
put
minutes.
it up and
Yeah.
put it as unlisted and give us the links, but
Yeah.
also give the history of Tren and just do one video that's the history of Tren.
That would
Yeah.
be. I
Do
would
episode
watch the
2
shit
of
out of that.
series.
Yeah.
The why you might want to use Tren, and then episode 3 why you might not want to use Tren. That if
Yeah.
every title's a hook, you're gonna blow
Yeah.
up. If you do, this is a great resource for you guys to watch this and then make it make sense and sell it to your audiences and get famous off my work. That's what you.
Tell me
what-
what you think of this title, Todd. The title is Tren is birth control for your brain.
I like that.
Wow.
That's
good bait.
awesome.
That's
I don't
pretty
even know
great.
what the fuck that means. It means that your brain's gonna get fucked, and then you're not gonna get anything out of it. That's what it means.
Well, birth control is
Well,
terrible.
it's like playing on the PR signaling thing we were
perfect.
talking about. You know?
I misunderstood what you meant.
Very
I
good.
thought your brain's
Oh.
about to get fucked,
no,
but you're not going to get anything out of it. There's no
Yeah.
big.
No,
I
that's
think
fair. I mean, that's a fair analogy as well, too.
All
but
of these will
yeah.
probably apply.
I was
Yeah, I'll-
thinking of that scene from the Bruno movie.
These are not mutually exclusive definitions.
I'm gonna
when you
have
look
to
at
get-
those birth control pills that are progestin only, they look a lot like Tren. They're 19 nortestosterone drugs.
What you got?
Are they?
Yeah,
You
the
got it.
first generation ones were given hairy lips and muscles. That's for sure.
Yeah, they're androgenic as hell. Don't tell the bikini girls about this, by the way, guys. They're all gonna.
Yeah.
be
I don't think they want to get hairy lips.
we gotta gatekeep it.
I think that the bikini girls got a raw deal because they had a bunch of coaches that told them tamoxifen was diet drugs.
Oh,
And that's why their boobs could be rolled up like a fruit roll up at the end. It's like we wouldn't need to have so much implants if guys didn't think that tamoxifen was a diet drug. Yeah, it burns fat, burns your boobs.
some of the
Yeah.
best coaches in Australia just use the fuck out of tamoxifen with female competitors. It drives me insane.
It's
It
still
sucks.
happening 15 years later.
It's a
My
fucking joke,
campaign
yeah.
against tamoxifen and bikini girls from 2010 has failed.
What
Oh,
the
yeah,
hell
that
is that?
shit-
It
I cringe
feels like
every-
shit, dude.
Yeah,
I'll
every
never
time.
take tamoxifen again. I hated it.
blood
Yeah.
clots.
Sucks.
Blood clots are the best.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
You're
you-
male. Don't
you
take
wanna-
a sperm.
want a fucking thrombus? Go at it.
Well, I mean,
Chris, why do you take that?
it is the right
was it
way to clear up a gyno case.
Yeah, I just
But
a
you
very
don't.
short course after I overshot my E2 a little bit. Just I was having some nipple burning just to make sure it was going away. Just like a week or something like that.
I think
like 20
that's
milligrams a day.
appropriate. Like
So my-
short-term
I want you
use.
guys to understand, Chris is like Jason Bourne with gear. It's like he can kill a whole room full of people with like a pencil and 5 bullets and a 9mm. So he's able to get so much out of so little. It's amazing. So if I trust that
Thank
he
you.
can do that with lightning speed, it's just like kill every breast gland and then out of there before anyone even knows what happened with the tamoxifen.
Most people would not believe the amounts I use. I've never been on more than like 250 milligrams, but like I'm not doing it to get big, so it's like a different goal at the same time.
It breaks my heart.
Yeah, I first I met Chris in the depths of Discord.
On you.
I first met Chris in the depths of Discord, and I was like, "Damn, this guy's really smart." Jesus Christ!
Thank you, Sean. You too, bro. Yeah. I mean, I reached out to you, man. You were asking about like neurosteroids. I was like, dude.
Yeah,
I
didn't know enough.
Because like
back
I
then.
didn't tell everyone. I made sure people were worthy before telling them about like the secret theories.
I feel so honored.
And you were worthy, Sean.
Thank
you were
you, man. I
you were
appreciate that.
one of the first people I told it to, Todd, as well. Just to kind of run it by you.
I think you thought it was crazy, and I'm like, no, that shit sounds perfect. And you're like, really? I'm like, yeah, this is great. I fucking love this. And then we kept pulling at those threads, and there's more and more shit. It's like you bring me a whole box full of puzzle pieces, and I get to sit down like in between my trains and like put the puzzle together. And then you're like, okay, cool, that's the one I came up with. And then we're like, yay, we got the same puzzle.
This is like the next tier of bodybuilding is literally going to be this neurosteroid thing, right? It's something that like bodybuilders just know what aromatase is. That's the only enzyme they understand. And opening this up to like 3-alpha HSD and like
I don't think they understand aromatase at all.
They don't understand aromatase, by the way, is 3 steps. Yeah, so they don't even understand that. But I think this is like the next. This is the next
I
evolution.
think you're hard
of
pressed
bodybuilding.
of them putting together testosterone and estradiol and DHT come from the same root. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot they don't get. We have to really.
I think it really comes down to the core concept that nobody knows what they're doing because they can't see it. If we made them, and my Anabolic University course that we're building out right now, they have to pass quizzes to get to the next lecture. And that and you can't cheat. And like, you're going to need to assemble the molecule. Like which of these molecules is Masteron? Which of these molecules is Primo? Like, or like something like that. Like, identify the molecule. And then the next step is like, how will this bind to this? And then it will fucking get it through their heads how this shit works. So when they're having the conversations, they can see the molecules, they can see the enzymes. There's going to be video showing things binding into the pockets, getting the chemical alterations. The labeled carbon or the labeled oxygen is going to be visible, and you see what happens, and it moves on to the next enzyme, all that shit. It's going to make it clear. And it's
a lot of work.
Nothing that medical school ever taught us at all. It's like
one of the things
I feel like I need some prerequisites to take that course.
Well, that's going to be like level 3. There's going to be level 1, 2, and there's going to be level 2.
So it gets progressively harder, right? You
introduce
introduce the
set up, I think, kind of like JP's site is, where it's just going to be a monthly. It's not going to be like J3U where it's $1,000 and you get lifetime access. It's going to be like a monthly thing, so that people who are really bad at school are going to take a lot longer to get through level 1 before people who are good at school are just going to breeze through it.
It's going to be a lot more popular and profitable doing it that way.
Student. What?
It'll be a lot more popular and also profitable with the monthly setup. More people, like it'll be more enticing for people to do it because it's like a more, I guess, in their mind, perceivably, it's more.
It's an investment
more,
in themselves,
and it's more affordable too in their mind, so they're going to buy into it more. And I think you're going to get a much greater turnover.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I like that the way I've been shown that the way that it's being modeled is there's 2 versions. One's like a real university course, and the one I like more is it's more like a video game where you have like a level, and your level goes up as you complete things.
Yeah.
And when you hit a high enough level, you can go up to the next category of classes. So
is
like
level 4 necromancy?
necromancy is in there, yes. Yes.
That's cool.
Talk
That's one of the
about
things that makes this stuff so hard is that
and epinephrine and stuff like that. Necromancy.
is that it's not just like receptor binding. Like most like pharmacology is just like what receptor does it bind to, and the metabolism doesn't matter that much. But with steroid hormones, the metabolism is like 90% of the story. So it gets
Yeah.
really, really confusing really, really
I
fast.
have a big I was there's a big thing I wanted to talk about recently dealing with exactly what you just said, Sean. And me and Todd discussed this last night actually.
Yeah.
Because of clearance kinetics, DHT is worse than testosterone, but per blood concentration, the evidence suggests DHT is more anabolic and more lipolytic than testosterone. But you have to use so many more milligrams to get the same blood concentration because the clearance kinetics are so different. Like I'm on, for example, like I said, no one's even going to believe me. I'm on 12.5 milligrams testosterone per day. I'm at a total T of like 600. DHT 5 milligrams per day. Total DHT is like 60. So like it's like you have to use 5 to 10 times as much milligrams of DHT to get the same blood concentration. But the high dose DHT studies, they got to like 300, 400 nanograms per deciliter. And the result was significantly increased lean mass and significantly reduced fat mass. So even DHT, technically per blood concentration, is more anabolic than testosterone, or at least that's what the study suggests.
Well,
But its clearance
these
kinetics are
tests
so
are
much
free
worse.
DHT, right? And I don't think
No,
we can
total, that's
test
total DHT.
total. Okay.
Yeah, so even worse, free DHT because, well,
Yeah.
SHBG obviously went down because they weren't using T replacement, but it still binds way stronger to SHBG than T does.
Yep.
Um,
But it also gets
so
interrupted in the cytoplasm by 3-alpha HSD
Were
in
these
between
were
binding
these
cycles.
individuals like trained individuals as well?
no, this was just old motherfuckers. Like,
Wow, that's interesting. Because I
yeah,
was going to
nothing.
say,
Literally, yeah.
I was going to say
Like-
because DHT obviously has like I guess a neuromuscular component where it can help with I guess increasing aggression and overall neuromuscular efficiency in training. So I was thinking if it's paired with training, you would see probably an even more amplified effect.
What I thought.
Yeah, and they weren't even
anabolic was
training,
that-
and there also was no estradiol, so that makes it even more impressive. Like
That
even
is
in the
interesting.
absence of estradiol, it was more anabolic. But like I said, that doesn't mean it's better because you have to use so much more, and it's the only source that has it. It's insanely expensive.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think
And
if you get up around
And
5
what other
milligrams,
kind of like long-term downstream effects does it cause that we're not aware of yet too? Hey, that's one other thing. Hey,
So DHT in high doses is actually remarkably safe.
Yeah.
Like the only issues they ran into were low E2 side effects, pretty
and
much.
was
Like
the data longitudinal, like, or was it pretty? Like, was
the longest study I think is like 2 years long, and they
Oh,
found
okay, that's decent. That's
their
decent.
their blood lipids were normal, lean mass increased, fat mass decreased, like no training, like just normal dudes. It's kind of one of the best contexts. But I mean, if they had test and E2 as well, we'd expect highly, compounded results.
Yeah.
But I think that just kind of goes to show like the more practical thing here is like people who say DHT derivatives aren't anabolic, I feel like have no idea what they're talking about.
I wonder.
Because
I
even
wonder.
DHT, which has terrible clearance kinetics, is
Yeah.
shown to be anabolic when you have enough of it.
Yeah,
Well, that's
see,
what I think the point is that once you saturate the 3-alpha HSD, then the DHT or the Proviron would be anabolic. There's no reason it wouldn't be. You have to basically have that threshold. So I kind of think of it as being like cannon fodder. You just throw a bunch of Proviron at the system
Some bodies that
load that 3-alpha HSD so that you can then flood the system with whatever you want, and then it'll get right through it and nothing's going to chop it up.
And
Part of
other
the-
DHT derivatives will also occupy 3-alpha HSD to an extent. So you could, in theory,
And that's
use
the conclusion I came to was at the time, Masteron's still cheaper than the Proviron. So just use more Masteron to chew up the 3-alpha HSD. And then the rest of the Masteron will be even more anabolic than it would normally be.
is
yeah, and
it
you could
the-
even leverage that to make DHT more anabolic as
is
well.
the cost of DHT closely tied to the complexity of synthesizing it, or is it
It's just
the
'cause
supply demand?
There's only one guy that makes it, and he's a
He can
chemist.
charge as
So
much as he wants. That's what it is.
DHT finger is what we're calling it.
But the Proviron would be a cheaper choice than his DHT injectables, just because of how expensive.
Would it yield the same outcome, or would there be more adverse effects? Because it's like, yeah, sure, it might have the same effect in elevating.
It's not going to be as
DHT.
anabolic.
Yeah,
Proviron's less than DHT.
Less anabolic.
well, it's not
'Cause
as
it doesn't have a long
bioavailable.
half-life.
Injectable DHT
That's fair.
is gonna, like, Proviron's not that bioavailable. So
whereas injectable DHT would be close to 100% bioavailability, wouldn't it?
yeah, it would be 100%.
Oh, we're talking about DHT with an ester, by the way, just to be clear.
Yes.
It's an assay DHT is going to be more.
Yeah, the guy
Sure.
he has DHT enanthe and DHT propionate.
But Masteron's basically a suicide inhibitor for 3-alpha HSD, I think, or similar. Like,
Is
it's
there
like it's
any-
going to get stuck there. That enzyme's
The
off.
idea is that it just
In-
gets in there and it just breaks it. But the
in that
Proviron
2-year study-
that DHT would probably clear after a while, and the enzyme would still.
Wait, Masteron's a suicide inhibitor of 3-alpha HSD? I thought it was just resistant to it.
It's
No, I
resistant
mean
to
it goes into
all-
the enzyme, but it can't chop it up.
right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as far as I know. That's
Well,
the
no,
last time
because
I looked.
Masteron does 3-alpha reduce. It does convert into
Just a little bit.
2-alpha methyl androsterone.
It does
eventually.
just a little bit. It's
Right.
resistant though for the most
It'll
part.
slow
So
it down a lot more than giving real
But
DHT.
I would think, wouldn't it, like, it would just bind less? Like, it wouldn't bind and then not get chewed up, right?
no, I believe it binds and then it slows it way down or stops it completely.
Okay, is there data
Yeah.
on that? I haven't seen that.
There's no data on it, but just going off of like the mechanistic understanding of how, yeah, I mean, that's probably what I'd say, but I don't know for sure. Obviously, I'm kind of just talking out of my ass.
The
Because
more
Steve's
study
doing a
outside
cycle of
is
DHT
more
and Anthate right now.
It's
Right.
over.
I'm gonna have to bounce.
Oh,
Later, man.
There you
Good
go.
talking to you,
See you,
Nick.
Nick.
Yeah,
What
thanks
time is it?
for letting me
Brother.
come on.
Door's
Good
always
meeting you,
open.
man.
noon. All right. So let me make sure I understand this, Sean. The way I thought it was is that the lower the binding affinity, the more inferior of the signal and the more long it's going to take before you actually generate the signal. That it doesn't necessarily break it. It just works as a competitive inhibitor relative to a better agonist.
Yeah, I think, well, a suicide inhibitor is a spectrum, and obviously, like, suicide inhibitor is the furthest left on that spectrum. But, if you have something clog it up to some degree, it's going to just slow it down. So
Right.
maybe that's poor wording on my side, but
Yeah, so it's more like a very slow competitive inhibitor because it
Yeah.
just takes so fucking long. It's such a bad bind that it takes forever to dock correctly, to exercise what it's trying to do, and to eject. Then that if you could have chewed up 3 DHT molecules in the amount of time it take you to chew up 1 Masteron, then that makes the Masteron a pretty good competitive inhibitor just because it's a shitty ligand and a shitty substrate.
And I think I was reading that Primo can saturate 3-alpha HSD somewhere around 600 or so. And that means Masteron can probably do a similar thing at a lower dose. So, I mean, it would be interesting to see someone run Masteron with DHT and see if you get an anabolic effect from the DHT specifically, because the Masteron is...
Good tell if you got it from because you're running some, like if I'm at 380 a day and if I throw in 20 DHT, I don't think it's a fucking different.
Well, I was thinking more like 100 mast and then, slow it down and then throw in, 20, 30 DHT a day and see what that does. I don't know.
I think that could work. Because in the study, they were using, I think it was like 70 milligrams a day. Which it was transdermal, so it wasn't like as good, but
You mean
and
calculating
even in the
output?
absence of E2, in the absence of other DHTs, it was still a pro body composition effect. So I think that could work, but I mean it's also like you're going to be spending a lot of money. Like you could just use Anavar or
One thing
something
that
else.
I will mention, though, I believe like DHT's ability to not affect lipids as much, not affect hematocrit as much, is partially related to 3-alpha HSD, in the liver and the kidneys. So, those
Well,
things.
DHT does affect hematocrit.
Yeah, but not as
significantly.
much, I think. Right?
No, it's about as much as testosterone, if I recall correctly.
Is it dose
yeah,
for
it's- so
dose
it's-
or potency for potency?
Dose for actually probably potency for potency.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe
yeah.
then I'm wrong. But I know at least on the lipid side of things, I think that liver situation might be, get worse, and then you could potentially get, not that it matters really. You just take a
It's
statin.
actually pretty benign on lipids as well. Is
Yeah,
another
that's what I'm
thing that high
saying. But
dose.
if you knock out 3-alpha HSD, then you might have a little stronger effect on lipids because you
you
got
get
more
like the same
AR.
probably stronger Masteron-esque effect.
Yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
know. It'd be interesting to see. I'm not entirely convinced that it's super anabolic.
No,
But
it's you have to use a lot of it. It's just not worth it to use as an anabolic, in my opinion.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
But
where we concluded the utility of this was that using a finasteride or dutasteride and destroying your serum DHT as a bodybuilder is not necessary and counterproductive if you're already bald or you already got a hair transplant or you don't give a fuck. And I think that
Yeah.
was the conclusion that we came to with that conversation was how is this what's the utility of this? Not to use DHT as an anabolic, but not to consider a DHT as useless. And that basically is maybe the anabolism too comes from one, you're stronger, two, you're shuttling nutrients into the cell better, three, it's you have an opposing effect on the estrogen inducing some type of fat gain. So I think that the more androgenic, the more male you feel, the better you're going to be able to get a good muscle to fat ratio on your anabolic streak.
that's another utility.
Other things might be driving anabolism, that this partitioning effect from the DHT relative to the estrogen is a more favorable partition. And so it looks like they've got more fat-free mass relative to fat accrual over a bulking phase.
And the interesting thing, the only difference between DHT and Tren, at least on the AR, is 3-alpha HSD. So it's strong as hell. If you get rid of that, I mean, it could be a party. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
That's where I think someone figured this out too, was there's a saturation point where you're not making more DHT no matter how much more test you take. Like somewhere around, if I go 100 tests a day or 150 tests a day, that's not really going to impact my DHT anymore. Like it's going to cap out at about 110 or something. Same thing with the estrogen. Like I don't think I can go over 200 estrogen no matter how much test I take. So if I can manage 111 DHT and a 200 estradiol and they cancel out, in theory, I could just run 2-3 grams of test and it doesn't fucking matter at that point. Test is just cheaper than any anabolic steroid. But are you really going to be able to handle that much gear to where you broke the brakes off in two different directions? And there's just really at that point. I mean, most people are going to flip out or have problems before then.
Yeah.
I think it is interesting though. Like if you can find something that's bioidentical that's as strong as Tren, and then you can leverage it by inhibiting 3-alpha HSD. I mean, it could be a healthier way to potentially build muscle, right? I don't know. That would be my
We
perspective.
started losing Sean.
Your audio, you're all
You're
muffled.
about to get kicked out.
It started like
rendering.
it was.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so what I was saying is if it's bioidentical and we know it's healthier than Tren, if it's comparable to Tren and we can just get rid of the 3-alpha HSD and actually use it to build muscle, maybe that could have some utility. I don't know if it works, right? So, I mean, something to look into.
Josh,
obviously,
Josh, do you know any specifics on what Vigorous Steve is doing right now with the DHT update?
I know he stopped his cycle. He announced it on the last show. His labs were fine. There was really no big change. I don't know what he got out of the cycle overall, but he did go over at the beginning of either the last Q&A or this one or the one before.
I heard from a friend. I didn't watch that episode, but a friend that did said that actually his blood pressure went down. Like he had to lower his telmisartan
that makes sense.
because the DHT was making him lose water retention. But Todd, you brought up an interesting point.
Wait, doesn't it have some vasodilatory effects too?
It does in the penis.
I thought it was
as
systemic.
far as the muscles go. It may. That would make sense. But I wanted to bring up. I think it's one of its main utilities. Like what you're saying, Sean, I think is a good theory. I think just that the price, like Tren's going to be cheaper and it's going to work as good.
Yeah.
Like you could use the DHT, but I think its main utility is if you're running, like if you want to run your E2 higher, or if you're running a progestin like Ment or Tren, then it can be a extra signal to oppose breast growth, and one that's safe. And even at a low dose, it'll work for that. Like I was using Ment with 10 milligrams of DHT a day. And I, didn't get any nipple problems. E2 was, normal because I was also running tests. But I mean, that's just an anecdote, but it does oppose breast growth, and it's very good at that.
So it's a blood pressure medication and an AI.
Well, not an AI, you understand. We were talking about this last time, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm just messing around. But I think it's got it's got a hell of a lot of utility, and it's under talked about for sure. I think,
I got to go some grandkids in, guys. So I'm gonna.
All right, later, man.
Yeah,
good seeing you, bro.
Hang out, everybody.
Yeah, just so you guys know, I'm also gonna old man this in about 5 minutes.
Well, we already been on for an hour.
Is it like an hour 45? You guys want to just call it here? And
I'd say call it here because this is a good point.
Yeah. All right.
Did you say Todd's looking bad? Is it?
No, that's a good
you want to call it here?
Yeah,
because I'm.
No, you look like professional and shit. It's funny.
Yeah,
I dressed down and you dressed up. I was like, what the fuck, Todd?
I just want to change it up. It's like it was either that or I got here. Just for the
sick,
girl
dude.
that stayed on the.
I mean, you look great. I ain't complaining. I'm just like, well, fuck. I dressed down. I figured you dressed down, and then you dressed up. I was like, well, shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to start dressing.
We should do like a formal show just for fuck around, or just like dress up like your favorite wrestler.
Now I fit in.
All right. Everyone just shows up in suits.
Back to regular.
All right, come on, everybody, show your arms. Come on, bro.
There you go. Now I fit in.
But I gotta do it
get free.
like you showed me.
Yeah, you're ready to see Todd. Yeah, you gotta.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You got a super. Tell me your
There they go.
Hey, you look big, bro.
Yeah, Todd's huge.
Josh, you're looking huge over there. Look at you.
I have 13-inch forearms and 14-inch arms.
Nice. Look at you, man. Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
I'm going for 19,
again, as always, I'm going to say thank you for being here. We'll do it again next week. By the way, you guys keeping up with House of the Dragon? We can talk about that next week.
I'm on. Yeah, there's one episode left for the season's over. So I mean,
yeah, I know.
Sean, your
what
video's
the fuck
coming
with all
out.
these short
It's
seasons
processing.
now. I hate it.
You can
It's
watch
House of the Dragon season. I'm gonna catch up to you guys tonight.
All right.
Nice. I like it.
Start with season 1. Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
For sure.
You're gonna get rocked if you have no idea what you're in for because this is gonna be confusing as shit.
Yeah.
True.
Okay,
but fun.
To finish season 2, you have to watch the first 2 episodes of season 3.
Yeah,
Technically,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's okay. May as well just.
They had to get it cut because of the writer's strike, whatever. So you trust me. Just watch the first 2 of
season 3.
You
Episode
season 2, you're like, all right,
1 is probably the season finale of season 2. That's a good. Because that was the roughest last minute of any episode in a long fucking time.
Yeah.
It was. All right, I'm gonna have to watch it, guys. All right, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna get down to doing some work here.
Oh shit! What am I talking about? The last episode of season 1 was one of the most sweetest endings of any season ever. That makes sense. That's why season 3, episode 1 would be the ending of season 2. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Corey and Aaron.
I'm excited. We'll check it out.
We'll do it,
guys.
All righty.
Yeah, buddy.
Later on, guys, and thank you again,
everybody.
Next week.
And remember,
yes, sir.
guys, like, subscribe, comment.